Alright gang, welcome back to our Triple Threat Challenge here on Zabby. It is August, and we're going to put some canola in the ground. I was kind of going back and forth on what I wanted to do. You know, I've talked about for a while now that I want to do, you know, new stuff that's on the map itself specifically, but we don't have a whole lot else that's new that we can do. And, you know, okay. Well, that was weird, wasn't it? I told it to fill up seeds, and then it just didn't. Anyway, there's not, you know, there's not a whole lot of new stuff that we can put in right now this late in the season that is not already there. That's how I'll put it, I guess. There we go. So, because of that reason, we're going to put some canola in this big field here. Canola makes us good money. We know that already, right? So, let's put something in that's going to make us some good money. You know, and we'll kind of go at it from there. So, let's get the canola. I'd love to do some of these other ones, and we're going to do that in some of these other fields. We're probably going to hold off on some of these other fields as well. I just went right past it. We're probably going to hold off on some of these other fields as well, just so we can do that. There it is. Perfect. So we're going to get started first thing first here with getting the canola in the ground. And I'm actually going to put a worker on doing this. There's a couple reasons why I'm going to put a worker on doing this. One, we've got a lot to do today. So I'm going to get the worker started on that. We're going to jump into the harvester, and we're going to harvest our mustard field. That is the biggest reason why I'm going to put a worker on doing that. I also fixed the straw bales, as you saw a couple episodes back now, I guess at this point. A couple of them fell in to the coop with the chickens, so we're going to take care of that. Get them all sorted out. Evidently, we dropped straw with mustard. Interesting. Actually, I don't think I mean, we did a mustard harvest before, but I don't think we dropped straw then, did we? Maybe we did. I don't remember. You would think I'd remember, because it's not that long ago, but I don't even remember now at this point. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Things are good, man. Things are good. I can tell you we did get 3 episodes recorded this last weekend of the competitive one-tile challenge, so that's going to be good. So we'll have, well, obviously, you saw one yesterday. You'll have one tomorrow. As long as I got my days right here on when this one releases. You'll have one tomorrow. And then you should have one another Thursday from now. So the next Thursday from now, I should say. And we're hoping we'll get one more done either this week or this weekend, and then have 2 next week as well, right? So that's going to put us in a good spot for that series. It is bittersweet. I've mentioned it many times, so I won't go into it in a heavy detail again. But, you know, that series has been a lot of fun, but I think it has run its course now, and it's time to move on and do something different. I was talking recently, I know, I think it was on here, or maybe it was on another series. It doesn't really matter, but... you know, Crestu and I were thinking about or talking about getting a, you know, a mono-e-mono type of series going between the two of us here after that is over, or maybe even simultaneously whenever we're not able to get a recording done for the competitive one-tile challenge because we were having so many issues here the last month or so. I think we're going to put that on just a brief hold for right now. When we were talking about that, that was maybe not when the actual video came out, but when we were talking about it, when I was recording it, it was before Crestu realized he had to have knee surgery. Since he has to have knee surgery, he's going to have a little bit more time, but he's not quite sure how things are going to work out for him recording and things like that, so we're going to wait and see how that goes before we make that decision, which I think is perfectly fine. It makes complete sense. You don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know, right? He's never had knee surgery, so he doesn't know what he doesn't know, right? He doesn't know how he's... I mean, he's not going to be able to maneuver that well. He's going to have to kind of get set up downstairs, and so we'll see how this whole setup for recording and thing goes, and kind of go from there, right? Is it possible for him to do it? I don't know. We'll see. If it is, then we probably will do it. If it isn't, then maybe we'll just postpone it for a while, and we'll come back and revisit that a little bit later on in the year or something like that, right? I certainly don't want to, you know, force him to do a video when he's had knee surgery and he's probably not, you know, feeling up that great and make it be a consistent type of series, right? So he asked if we could wait, and I'm 100% on board for waiting, so we'll put a pause on that. So what that means is, realistically, when the competitive one-tile challenge ends, which, again, we're probably looking at somewhere in the late to end of June, probably, for that series to end. That's if we get 2 done a week, which maybe we don't, but If we get 2 done a week, that's kind of what we're thinking it's going to be, probably somewhere in that range. At that point, I'm going to have, you know, a little bit more bandwidth, a little more leeway to start something else, right? So we will see what I come up with. I'm not quite sure which direction I'm going to go. I've talked about it a lot. There's a lot of different things I can do. So we'll see, right? We'll see what we decide to come up with. Do we continue Z's story? Do we do that campaign type of, you know, story I've talked about briefly, where, you know, you start on the initial map and you kind of move through all of the Giants official maps, and you know, you do 15, 20 episodes on one map, then you jump to another one, you sell everything, you jump to another one, bring all the money that you made in those 15 to 20 episodes, and then kind of start over and just continue that process, right? All the way through them all. I think I might wait a little bit while on that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we do it, I don't know. We've got 2 challenges running right now, so I think it makes sense to not do a specific challenge type of series, just to kind of break it up a little bit. Well, technically we have 3 if you count the Can You Survive 25 series, right? But that's just once a week. So yeah, maybe that, or maybe Z's Adventure. I think those probably make a little bit more sense, just to break up, you know, the channel a bit, so it's not just everything's a challenge. And maybe you want to see only challenges, and that's fine. That's fine if you do. Okay, so we do have some things in storage here. Not much. There's a little bit of mustard, which that's November, so we're just going to store that to November. Rye, December. We might need to move some rye over, actually, for the chickens. And then spelt is in there as well, and then triticale is in there as well. They're all December-ish. So, yeah. We're doing all right, man. We're doing all right. Things are good. Let's see how the chickens are doing. Do they need any food? Nah, they're okay for right now. We just, 1 month ago, last month, we just got some baby chickens. So once they, you know, grow up a little bit more and are able to start producing eggs, we'll see a lot more pellets being spawned there. Now, to be fair, that pen is not a gigantic pig by any means. It only holds 50 chickens, right? So we're not going to see an insane amount of eggs coming out of that, but it's something. And, you know, chickens aren't really the animal that we received from our threat for threat 3, right? So, I don't really need a ton of them. I'm really just putting that in there just to help utilize some of the crop that we've harvested to make a little bit of extra money in the long run. That's really the reason they're there. And I kind of like that pin, right? That pin, I think, is included. I'm pretty sure it was included with the map. I'm pretty sure, at least. Let me just double check that before I move on here. Yeah, see, it's a pin that comes with the map. So if you download the map, you have to install that specific mod. Well, there's a couple of mods you have to install with it. Now, we have $26,000 to our name. We actually started with about $28,000, but we had to buy that seed and fertilizer, right? So we don't have a ton of money. We can do 3 new contracts this month, which is great. We also have that field down there that we kind of finished in the last episode. We've got to get the straw up on that and then, you know, plow it up, and then we can reseed it whenever we want to. As I mentioned, I'm going to at least keep probably one of these fields for... you know, one of the new crop types, you know, linseed or something along those lines, right? We're going to keep one of these fields for that, which means we have to kind of hold on to it until next season, which is a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. But I'd like to do that. There's also flax we can put in, which we've harvested flax. We haven't drilled it, but lentil and millet, I would really like to do those. But they're a very small growing, or a very small planting stage for them, excuse me. Millet is even like, tiny, 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 only in May. So we're going to hold off on one of these fields for that. So we'll see how that goes. But We got to get this field harvested, and then we can kind of take a look at, you know, some contracts as well, right? We've got those that we can do too. 3 of those that we can do. We don't necessarily have to get everything done today. I've been allowing ourselves to do more than 1 episode per month, so if needed, I'm not sure if we will or not. I would assume we will, speaking of all the straw we got on the ground, but just because the straw's on the ground doesn't necessarily mean it has to be picked up today. But is there anything in the used market? There is a tractor out there. This is the 6CRV, the Zorch. This is a nice tractor. This is a really nice tractor. That's pretty tempting to buy that, I'll be honest with you. We might get rid of the John Deere for that. I know a lot of people were not that pleased with me buying the John Deere because it just can't do a whole lot, but really the reason I bought it is what you're seeing right here. I know I mentioned this in the last episode, but in case you missed it, the real reason I bought it is for work like you're seeing right now. You know, I've got the worker doing something on the JCB over there, and the John Deere can, you know, pull the trailer around, and it can do some, you know, fertilizing, things like that if need be, right? It can do all of that, which is really the reason for buying it. If we were to upgrade to the Zorch, well, quite frankly, we could have 2 very, what's the word I'm looking for? 2 very logical tractors that could be utilized for everything that we currently own, right? They could do all the things that we own. So, yeah, that might be the way to go. The problem I'm seeing here, though, is if we do go that route, we still have that loan, right? That pesky little loan that is causing us about $800-900 a month in interest. So we, you know, it's August, right? We've got a couple more months before we're going to be at a new year again. When that new year happens, we have to go through the random threat number 2 again, where we have to ask, are we able to pay off the loan? And if it's a yes, we can pay whatever we want off, and then you don't have to go to step 2. But if it's a no, then you have to go to step 2, and step 2, you ask, do I need to take out more of a loan? And if it says yes, then we're going to get another $100,000 in the bank account, but the loan is now going to be at $350,000. So the interest we're going to be paying for the next year is going to continue to go up. It's probably going to be about $1,000, maybe $1,100. It's a lot. I know I had somebody specifically asking me recently, you know, if you get, oh yeah, I guess it's only 2 headland passes is all they wanted to do. Okay, well, we'll go back this way then. Somebody recently asked me, you know, if you get, yes, you can pay back the loan, do you have to go into, you know, part 2 and ask if you need to take out more loan? No, it's only if you get for part 1 of threat 2, which is, am I able to pay off the loan? It's yes or no. And if you get yes, that's it. That's all you do. If you get no, then you have to go to part 2 and ask, do I need to take out more of a loan? And if it's yes, you have to take out more of a loan, you got to take out another $100,000. If it's no, then you're good. You can't pay off the loan, but you don't have to take out any more loan. Hopefully that makes sense. But if you have any other questions, do not hesitate to ask me. I will respond to you as soon as I can. I promise I do respond and read every single comment. I do not get back to you every single day that you put the comment out there. I try to get back to you when I can, but it's not every day. It's normally every couple of days. I apologize for that, but I don't, unfortunately, always have the time to get to all of them like I would like to do every day. But I will get to them. I read every single comment. I promise you I read every single comment, and I do reply to every single comment. It just sometimes takes me a little longer than I would normally like. So, what I'm trying to get at, I guess, that was very long-winded, but what I'm trying to get at is here in January, we're going to be once again tasked with doing threat number 2, which is to ask if we can take out a loan. I'm actually hoping it says yes. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm hoping it says yes, because that extra $100,000 it'll be nice, right? It'll be helpful for us. We got lucky the first year, but this year I'm just, who knows what's going to happen. It's a 50-50 chance. No matter where you go, it's a 50-50 chance, right? Now, in case you did stumble across this, what essentially what that threat is you're allowed to pay the loan off in January. And you can't even pay it off unless the actual randomizer tells you can do so. But even if, let's say right now, I wanted to go, and I can't do it right now. It's literally, you're only allowed to pay it off once a year, and it's in January, and you have to ask if you're allowed to pay it off. You can't even just say, I'm going to pay it off. You have to ask the randomizer if you're allowed to do it. The randomizer will give you a 50-50 choice, yes or no. It will, yes, you're allowed to pay it off. No, you're not. No, you're not. You go to stage 2 or part 2. Now, I think the way that mustard works, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know a ton about mustard. I really don't. Maybe somebody else knows more that in the comments. But I think the way they go about mustard is they crack the mustard seed, and I think that's really what you're trying to utilize for the mustard. I'm pretty sure. I think once you harvest it, it puts it out into little tiny seeds like you would kind of expect, or well, whatever. And then you have to crack those seeds, I think, and inside of it, there's that's really what you're looking for the mustard. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm really tempted for this guy. I'm really tempted. It's $500 just to make it a warrior. I'm not really going to be doing that. Full animations are free, so I guess you keep them, but I don't really need those. Okay. Let's turn around here. I missed a little bit here. I'm going to get it. It's probably nothing in here, but I'm going to pick it up anyway. A little more straw. Sure, we'll take that. So what kind of contracts do we have out here for us? There's a bunch of harvesting contracts, a bunch of them, a bunch. There's not any big ones though, really. I mean, this one is, but that one would take an eternity. There's not actually a ton out there. There really isn't. I mean, there is, but from making big money perspective, there's not a ton out there. We might not be able to get that tractor. I'm not quite sure we're going to be able to. Unless we do that carrot harvest, which... Oof, I'm not quite sure we're going to do that. Yeah, there's really not much out there. We could do this one. That one wouldn't be too terrible, I don't think. I guess you could do both of these. They wouldn't be terrible, but it's not a ton of money, right? It's only a little bit. Spraying contract's not even really worth the time. Yeah. I don't know. There's not really a whole lot out there for us. I don't really like that. We might be doing not much from a contract perspective here in August. Which is good and bad. It's bad because we're allowed to do, 3 contracts per month. That's it. No more than that. And realistically, you probably want to, especially this early on, we probably want to try to do as many of those contracts as we possibly can do. If we can do all 3 of them, wonderful. But we probably want to try to do as many as we can because that's just some extra money to give back to us to try to help offset some of that loan, right? Well, I guess at a bare minimum, we can do the Deadwood one. That'll take a few seconds, and that will mostly cover the loan fee that we paid. I think it was $880 or $800 something dollars. So that'll mostly pay for that. So at a bare minimum, we can do that one, I guess. That's the way I look at the contracts, at least. You can certainly look at them any way you want, but for me, I'm using the contracts more to try to offset some of the costs that we're incurring for, 1, the loan, 2, utilizing a worker, right? I was going to say the worker's just sitting there, stopped for some reason, but no, they were just taking their time, lollygagging around while they're turning. All right, well, we know what we have to do here, gang. We've got a big old mustard field to get done here. There is crop damage. I didn't even see that. There is crop damage in it. Dang. That's a pretty big hail damage there. But it's only one spot, so I guess it could be worse, right? I guess it could be worse. The worker is nearly done, actually. So what I'll probably end up doing... I don't know. I was going to say I might end up putting the worker on doing some of this too, and we very well might. I think there's still a high probability that that could happen. Because if we put it on a worker, we could do some other stuff too, right? We've got 2 fields here. We've got to get the straw up. You know, the straw, it is what it is, right? We've done a lot of straw, and I was trying to keep away from doing a bunch of straw again today, but... You know, we might have to do it, right? We might have to do it. I'm not quite sure there's going to be any way around it, because that's really what we've got. We've got lots and lots of straw, and we've got one other field that can be drilled right now. We've got to get the straw up on the other fields before we can drill them. And really, there's not a whole lot to put in the ground right now besides canola, and we're already doing that, so I don't want to do more than one canola field. All right, let's get to work. All right, the canola field's done. The mustard field has been harvested. We now need to do some baling, and we're going to go down here to the smaller field. I'm going to leave this field for the time being. I'm going to work on this field, the straw, everything else on this field in the next episode. Well, at least the next month, I should say. We're going to try to get the straw up on this small field down here and get this small field kind of in a state where it's in a good state for us to be able to do something with it, right? Obviously, we're not going to be able to plant anything today. Well, we could, but we're not going to plant another canola field. I already mentioned that, right? So, yeah, I didn't think it was going to let me pick this up, but I figured I would attempt it, but it's just going to be there. It's a bit annoying, but it is what it is. So we're going to get the straw up off this field. It's not a large field, so it really shouldn't take us too long to get this done. And then we're going to plow this field up. Probably put some lime down. And then, like I said, we'll see. I would love to buy that tractor. I'm just not quite sure how we're going to make it fit into our budget right now. We need money to be able to pay the interest on the loan every month, plus all the maintenance fees and all that other stuff that we incur, right? Okay, a few other things came out here. There's a bale wrapping contract. That's a pretty easy one to do. We might do that. That's a relatively simple one. Looks like actually one other harvesting contract came out here. Okay. Another mowing, another spraying contract. That's a little bit better. That spraying contract is something we could probably take on. Okay, so there's a few other things that have popped up out there, so that's good from a contract perspective. So yeah, let's, you know, we might not even actually plow this field up since there's some other contracts out there for us to do now. If it was going to be the same as what we looked at earlier, I was probably going to say we'll plow this up just because there wasn't really a whole lot from a contract perspective out there for us. But since a few other ones have popped up, I think we'll maybe shift gears a little bit here, and we can focus on plowing this field up in the next episode. But we'll get the straw up, of course, but we can work on plowing this up later on. I think the problem is we're going to start running out of room for bales here soon enough. We've got a lot of bales, right? We don't really want to sell the straw right now. It's not the best time to sell the straw. We're trying to hold on to that until it's best to sell it. Just like with everything else, we really want to hold on to everything as long as we possibly can. Obviously, there's going to be periods of time where we probably are going to have to sell stuff because we're just, you know, running low on funds, but it's not really the best time to sell right now. As a matter of fact, it's the worst time to sell, so I'd prefer to at least get $40 a bale versus $33 a bale, right? Well, I say $40 a bale, $40 per 1,000 liters, what I should have said. All right. I know we just did a long time lapse, but I don't really have... It's rare when this happens, but I don't have a whole lot else to talk about, so let's just jump into it. Let's get this field done. It's going to take a little bit longer than I probably anticipated, but it shouldn't take us too long. It's not the biggest field in the world. It should be all right. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, hold on a second. Before we do that, let's look at one other thing really quick here. Let me get myself turned around here and on a line here, and we're going to look at one other thing, then we'll jump into a bit of a time lapse to get this done. Okay, so if we look at our vehicles here. So maybe we get 13,000 out of this, maybe somewhere around in that range, right? Yeah, probably 13,000 is what we're going to get out of that. 13,000, that wouldn't even, I mean, that would get us there, but it would only give us a couple $1,000s left over. Yeah, I think maybe we do consider getting it. It's 126 horsepower standard. I think, no, actually it comes to 143. So that's actually really good, because that's better than I think than what we have in the JCB, isn't it? It is. It's just slightly, but it's better than what we have in the JCB. It might even be a benefit for us to utilize that for doing this baling. Obviously, the baling, it works fine with the JCB, but the JCB does struggle a little bit. Now, I understand it's only a 10 horsepower difference, but it might make all the difference when it comes to those hills, right? The hills are where we struggle the most with this thing. I am going to have to service it, though, if I do go and buy it. Which is yet another expense that, you know, drops our money down even further. I really think that is a smart approach, though, is for us to get that. I really do. I really think that's going to help us out tremendously. And really, once we sell the John Deere, like I said, it's only going to be, I don't know, $20,000 maybe? I feel like we would be stupid to not do it. When I say $20,000, I'm talking about the tractor price itself. If you factor in what we're going to sell the John Deere for, and then take that out of the price of the Doltzfar there, it's around 20 grand for that tractor, right? I feel like we kind of have to. Let's get this done first, though.
Let's pray the night's gonna be alright. Just lose control and chase the highs. Leave all your tears, we're on cloud nine. We live the night and raver's life. We live the night and raver's life.
All right, we're going to sell it, dude. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, gang. We're going to do it. Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe it's not. I don't know, but we're going to do it. I think in the long run, it's going to help us, so we're going to do it. Okay, sub point here. I don't remember where the trigger point is for it, though. I think it's back here, isn't it? Oh, maybe not. I guess I should turn it on. Nope, on the complete opposite side. Okay. Repair, repaint. So we're going to get 16,987 out of it, which is leaving a little bit better than what I thought. But yeah, we're going to have around $5 grand-ish left when all things said and done. I'm not going to be able to put on the wide tires and the weights like I normally would like to. Obviously, that's too expensive. Could do the wide tires. I'm not going to do them for now. Maybe we'll do them later on. I'm just going to go with everything standard as it comes, right? As it comes. We can do less horsepower, evidently. And yeah, we have to pay for 136, but we've got 146 or 143, excuse me, 143 standard. So it comes with the highest horsepower, so that's a good thing too, right? We already got the biggest engine in it, so I'm good with it. Not going to do anything else. We're just going to get it this way as it is. 33,693. It was pricey, but you know what? It was worth it. Now, doing the maintenance on it, I'm going to do it back at our yard because we have a maintenance there, so it'll be a little bit cheaper, right? But doing the maintenance on it might be a different story, right? We might not have enough money as it currently stands right now to do the maintenance on it. I don't know. We'll find out. Well, hopefully we can get some contracts going here to help offset that. Now, realistically, as I mentioned, we really need about $1,200 to $1,500 in the bank account just to make it to next month. So we're gonna have to look at some contracts here. This thing is fast. I love it. I love this thing already. It's great. Honestly, it's a perfect size for our farm too, right? We really don't think we need much bigger than this, at least not for quite a while. So this is gonna be good. This is a little bit more than what our JCB has, so it should, in theory, help us as we move forward here, especially with really the only thing that we're struggling with, honestly, is the harvesting and the baling. That's really the only things we're struggling with. Not a huge increase, but I do think it has the potential to be a little bit easier for us to be able to get this up the hill with this extra 13 or whatever it is, 15 horsepower, whatever it is. Let's see how much it costs us to service this. I'm praying it's like 3,000. That's what I'm praying for. If it's more than that, we're going to have to wait a little bit till we get some money, I think. $2,931. I was right on the money with what it was going to cost. I said about $3,000, and that's about where it was. So let's repair it. Doesn't leave us with a ton of money, gang. It really doesn't. That's a very small amount of money in comparison to what we really need. But let's see if we can get some contracts done to help offset that a little bit, right? Let's see. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do? I feel like the baling... We've done so much baling that I'm not quite sure that's the route to go. It's good money, but I'm not quite sure that's the route to go. There's a plowing contract, which is... I mean, that should be decent money. I don't love it, though. This spraying contract is close, so I think we do that one. Wait, how much spray do we have in there? Actually, I should say that. How much spray do we have in here? Like I did that last time, and we had enough, but I'm not quite sure we're going to have enough now. Although, did we buy more? We might have bought more last time. I don't know. I think that's enough spray. I think that's enough spray for that. Let's do that one for sure. So we'll accept this one. It's just at the end of our road here, or our entrance to our yard here, at least. Let's do that one. The rest of them I will leave for right now. There's some more harvesting contracts that have popped up, so there's quite a lot of harvesting, really. But there's not really anything that's worth a ton of money except for that, well, the carrot one, and then this one, which is another carrot one. Alright, yeah, let's head down there and do the spraying contract, huh? Alright, we are pulling up here to field 17. This should be a pretty quick one, honestly. It's not the largest field, probably an up and down pass, maybe a little bit more, but I don't think so. I think one up and down should do it. Well, I mean, if I actually went to the right thing, that might help, Z. All right, we're underway. So this would be a quick little bit of money here. Hopefully we have, you know, a little bit of herbicide left over. Hopefully we don't use it all here. You know, at some point, we need to spend the money on this sprayer boom arm here to turn on, you know, spot spraying, basically. I don't remember the exact term for what it is, but the spot spraying version of it, where it only sprays whenever there's a weed, saves you a lot more herbicide, right? We're not quite there yet. It was like 40 grand or something crazy like that. We obviously don't have that money right now. Now, if we didn't make that tractor upgrade, maybe we would have, maybe, but I still think that tractor upgrade was a huge addition for us. I'm hoping we will see, I guess, come next episode, but I'm hoping it will help when it comes to doing some baling, right? We're going to have to bale that mustard field up next episode. Next episode will be good, though. It'll be good, right? We'll have a lot more that we can put in the ground. You know, we'll have the options to barley, still canola, green rye, mustard again, which we will put in, oat, rye, spelt, triticale, vetch rye, wheat, right? We'll have a little more options at our disposal, if you will. All right, I knew that was going to happen. What else we got out there? Anything new pop out? Probably not. The deadwood's still there. There's a fertilizing contract, actually. We probably do that. That's a very quick thing, and that's a nice little bit of money there. There's another spraying, but it's such a small one, it's not even really worth our time. So yeah, when we're done with this one, we'll probably do that fertilizing contract. Then we can do one more, because you know there's a restriction. And as I mentioned earlier this episode, there's only 3 per month that we are allowed to do. Regardless of how many episodes we do in a month, it's still 3 per month. Yeah, I don't really want to do any more. We've done baling so much. I don't really want to do baling. And we're going to continue to do baling next month too, right? So I don't specifically want to do baling again. Come on, we're almost done here. Come on, hurry up. Wow, I must have missed something somewhere big time. Oh, okay, never mind. There it goes. All right, good. Done. So let's turn that in. I think we do the fertilizing contract, then probably the deadwood contract. The deadwood contract is really only going to help us mostly pay for the loan interest. The other two, hopefully, like I said, hopefully that'll help offset a little bit of the cost we paid for the worker, and then give us just a little bit more money in the bank account for when we jump to September, to help pay fees and loans and all that good stuff, right? So we'll be pushing the limits here a little bit for the next couple of months because of this tractor purchase, but it's fine. It's worth it. It's worth it. This thing is fast too, man. It's much faster than the JCB. At least it feels faster than the JCB. Okay, that's all done. So let's grab the fertilizer spreader. Yeah, let's do that fertilizing contract. I just feel like that's a win-win for us. I don't know how much fertilizer is in here. I hope enough. Not really. Not really. How big is the field that we're doing for the fertilization? It's a decent size. I think that's what we're going to do. I bought fertilizer today and put it into our drill. We'll unload the drill with the fertilizer, I guess, and the seeds at this point, and we can refill it back up later. There's actually not a ton of fertilizer in there. I thought there was, but there's actually not a bunch. I'm just going to leave that there for right now. We'll fill it up again, like I said, later on. But let's take this fertilizer out of here. While that's happening, I'm going to flip this on really quick. We're just going to make sure we have automatic application rate off. I mean, the application rate is as low as it can possibly be. Good. Right, we're there. All right, so let's do that contract. It is 135, which is north, I think. Oh, no, it's not. It's pretty much directly east of us. So we'll take this road here, up to here, and all the way over. Okay. Feels like we're really starting to have this series come together here, right? We've got a number of fields now. We're making good progress. We've got 2 really good tractors now. We need a little bit of a better harvester. We really do. I like that harvester, but it's just the turning is so atrociously slow that it's kind of a bit of an annoyance more than anything, I guess. But we're making do with it. We're making do. I think when the winter months come here for this series, we will actually have quite a bit of money in the bank account. I really do. You know, we've got a lot in that silo, right? We got a lot in there. So, 15,000 liters of mustard, which at best it's going to give us 700 and some bucks per thousand, so that's decent. The rye, 330, 18,000 there, and the spelt, 22,931. So the spelt's a big payday. Probably should always have spelt in the ground, honestly. Where is this? Sunflower fields? Looks like a sunflower field. It is a sunflower field. Alright, let's go. We haven't been over in this specific portion of the area very much. We've been over here a couple of times, I think, but not really. It's nice. I like it. I like this whole entire map. You guys were 100% correct. I really am happy that I saw the comment before I started doing the recording, because I literally, as I mentioned at the beginning, I really wasn't planning on doing this map at all. I didn't even have it on my radar. But this map, it fits my playstyle big time. Very much feels like a, you know, an extension of our Spaskovo, you know, vintage survival type of a series. Obviously, this is not a vintage series, but it feels like that same style of map, right? It's got that same feel to it. I hope we're going to have enough fertilizer here. I feel like we're going to, but it's just going through it pretty quickly. Only just did we have enough. Only just 62 liters left. That's not a lot. That's not good. All right, that's good. That's done. All right, what else we got? Anything? The bale wrapping. It's a pretty easy one to do, but we're gonna lose 640 bucks off of that, so it's not really a ton of money there, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we'll just do the Deadwood contract. It's not a ton of money, but it's very easy money. And that will, like I said, essentially pay for the loan. A little bit less than that, but most of the loan can be paid off just with that alone. And it'll get us back to about $6 grand, which is a much happier place to be for us. It's a much happier place for us to be. You know, by the time September rolls around, we'll be looking like somewhere in the range of $4,800, something like that. Again, not a ton of money. It's really not. But, you know, we're still in the positive, right? And that we'll have more opportunities for us to do some contracts in September. And we've got a lot to do in September, as a matter of fact, right? We're going to be reseeding everything. We still have some straw to pick up too, right? So, yeah. I'd like to get this field right here to the right of us at some point. You know, just try to get all the fields around the yard area. It would be nice. Then all these different access points or whatever, we could say they're all ours, even though we don't technically own them. We could say they are. But there's no reason for people to be on those access points if we own all the land around it. It's just us. All right, let's go do this. All right, everyone says I need to start from the south and go north, so let's do that. I don't think I ever noticed that power line going through the woods here. I don't even think I noticed that. Now, a lot of people were talking about, you know, in this, are you allowed to sell the trees and stuff? You can sell the trees if you want. I did attempt to do that. I would tell you, and as everyone else I think saw, at least from the comments that I saw, it's not worth it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth the effort. You really make nothing off of them, which is it's unfortunate. I wish you did, but you just don't. You don't make anything, so I don't even think it's worth the effort to do it. But if you want to do it, if you want to get that extra $100 or $200, whatever it ends up being, go for it. By all means, you are allowed to do that. Like I said, I've told you before, like I'm giving you some basic restrictions and rules here, but I'm not telling you specifically how to play the game. You play it how you want, as long as you follow the base stuff that I've come up with, right? If I didn't say anything about it, then you are full free to use it. All right. Here we go. Here's one. Now, maybe if you had like a Tree to Valor mod or something installed, that might make sense for you to actually, you know, do it, because you could get some wood chips out of it. That might be useful. Although I'm not sure if it would count for the contract if you went up and just did a wood, you know, just took a Tree to Valor mod to it. I don't know if that would count as cutting it down. Maybe it would. It probably would, actually, now that I say that. We're looking for one tree here, and I don't know where it is. So sometimes the best way to go about it is to get up into a bird's eye view here. I'll be honest with you, I don't see a tree here that looks like it's ready to be cut down. Are we having another glitch that we're dealing with here, or am I just missing it? Alright, well. Oh, there it is. I don't know how I missed that. I think I walked right past it. I don't know how I missed that, because there's a tree down right next to it. I don't know how I missed that. Alright, well, there it is. Alright, Deadwood contract is done. And a quick autosave, of course, as always. At the worst time. It's always at the worst time. Alright, we are just shy of $6 grand. But we'll take it. And with that, we're going to leave the episode there, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would greatly appreciate if you smash the like, subscribe button. In case you've yet to do so, they are free to do. They help me out an absolute ton. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, or ideas, let me know down below. Happy to get back to you on those. Thanks to my members for all their continued support. If you want early access to videos like this one, there's a link down below for you can join and become a member of the channel. Not only supports me, supports the channel itself specifically. There's a lot of things you get, so make sure you check that out. Check out my second channel if you want to see other things I'm doing that's not Farming Simulator related. I do release videos on that channel, not every day, but every couple of days or so. Currently doing Red Dead Redemption 2 and Tomb Raider Underworld. I'm definitely going to have to edit that out. I just coughed loud right into the microphone. I don't know where that came from. I guess I need to take a drink or something. I don't know. Anyway, check that channel out if you haven't done so. Check the Discord out if you want to share your progress, see everything else I'm working on. It's all put into the Discord. I also have chats in there as well if you want to. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. As always, it really does mean the world to me. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you. All over 11,000 now, which is insane. But yeah, thanks so much for your support. I'll see you next time.